Alright guys, so I'm going to do a really quick demonstration on how to paint the white part of your eye. So I'm just going to really quickly sketch out an eye down here so that I can paint that in for you. Alright, so I just really quickly sketched in an eyeball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by adding the shadow areas. So for my shadow areas, I'm going to go ahead and mix a little bit of burnt umber with my dark blue, so my ultramarine. Now for some of you guys, your eye, if you look at the white of your eye, it's a little bit more blue. So you might add a little bit more blue into this versus the brown. So I'm going to start by just doing a quick shadow underneath the eyelid. So I'm actually going to add a little more blue to this. So I'm going to do a quick shadow underneath the edge of the eye because that is the shadow from your eyelid being cast upon your scalea. And then I'm going to go ahead and curve my shadows around, leaving a white spot next to the iris. Now it looks like I got punched in the eyeball right now because it's kind of like scary looking. That's why you want to put this color on lightly. You don't want to go super thick. And then I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to start next to the iris and I'm going to curve my brush strokes because this is a round object. So when we worked on creating the sphere, remember how we did all the little crescent shapes over and over again as they got darker? We're doing the same thing. We're just going to curve this. So right next to it's going to be lighter and I'm going to continuously curve my strokes so that it lightens up. The white part of your eye is actually not pure white, and that's what a lot of people want to do is just paint it white and call it a day, but it doesn't look right because it doesn't have the shadows in it. I am going to take a little bit of the white paint that's pure, and I'm just going to sort of dab it in the spot where there should be a highlight, and I'm not going to blend that in. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side now. Let me go ahead and paint the actual eyeball in, the iris at least. Okay, I'm just going to go with a generic color here that's in my palette. Alright, there we go. Okay, I'm going to come to the other side and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add the shadow in. So I'm going to put the shadow under the eyelid. I'm going to curve around. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to go ahead and start by adding in the white. I'm going to curve my strokes. I'm going to brush this in so that it blends in a curved motion. Okay. And if I need to, once it's dry, I can go back in and add a little bit more white if there's some areas that need to be a little bit brighter. Some people, their reflection of their eyes have a little bit more yellow in it, so you could add a tiny bit of yellow, or you could add a little bit of red. I typically use the brown because the brown, if you use the dark brown, has a little bit of yellow and red in it, so as you mix it in, it kind of naturally gets those tones in there. So ideally, in the end, if you've got it all together, you'll end up with something like this, where you can see here's the white parts, the shadows, when it dries up, okay? So this is kind of the basic step. You're going to be going from here and then finishing it up until you get to something like that. Okay? Are there any questions about how to do the white parts of the eye? Nope. Nope. Fabulous.